A student in my product owner class asked me why better products fail. And I at first was caught off guard because I'm like, you build better products. It means you built it faster, smarter, and loaded with features that your competition doesn't have. But when you do this and people still aren't adopting what you got and people still aren't using your product, that just doesn't feel rational, right? People don't choose the best option. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes people just don't choose the best option. They choose what's least risky, something that's familiar, the one that everyone else is already using. The perfect example of this, and Atlassian, I love you. Everyone in the world who does project management says, oh, we use the Jira. And when you ask, why do you use Jira? Because everyone else is using it. Many cases, it's the right tool, but in some cases, it's not even the right tool. It's not the tool that best aligns with what they're trying to do, but they use it anyway. Or even better, Microsoft Azure DevOps. We're a Microsoft house, so we use all Microsoft products. Well, that sounds outstanding, unless you don't need that Microsoft product, right? So the key here is this is where product teams mess up. They assume that adoption is linear. You build something better, people switch, ta-da, success. Wrong. Adoption is pure chaos. There's a giant chasm between the early adopters who chase shiny things and the mainstream market who want to avoid change like it's radioactive. We don't want to change, or we would do that. That's where good products go to die. So I want to talk to you a little bit about why better products are struggling and how to actually get people to win and switch over. Most product teams make the same fatal mistake. They assume that users are completely rational and make rational choices. I've heard product managers having a conversation. If we build something 20% faster, 10% cheaper, and 30% shinier, 100% of the people will obviously switch. It might sound logical, but let me tell you, that's also completely wrong. Here's what actually happens. Users don't make spreadsheets comparing your features or time themselves in their current and your product's main workflows to see if yours is faster. Oh, let me get on my stopwatch. How about this one? Are you ready? They don't care about your roadmap. I don't care how shiny and beautiful it is. They don't care. And get this. You know what else they don't do? They don't read that 296 page technical user requirements document, that turd that you produce. They don't read that. Instead, they ask themselves one question. Oh, I could change, but what happens if this goes wrong? Will I lose my data? Will I have to explain why I tried to switch to my boss? Will my team hate me for dragging them into something new and different with these features? Will my ROI assumptions hold up? Or I look foolish trying to justify an investment based on potential beliefs and many assumptions on my own part? This is called, for lack of a better term, cost of switching or switching cost. And it's why better products seem to lose every single day. Look at the example of Google Plus. It was slicker than Facebook, more private, no algorithm nonsense, and it still bombed. Why? Because everyone was already on Facebook. It was safe. Everyone knew where it was. Better doesn't always win. Easier, safer, and more familiar almost always win. So adoption isn't just about adding value. It's about overcoming resistance. Every potential user is caught between two competing forces. Forces pushing them toward your product. It solves a real pain point. It's objectively better than what I have now, and other people using it, creating social proof. And then there are forces holding them back too. It's unfamiliar. What if it doesn't work? Switching takes effort. Do I really have time to do all this? I already have a system that kind of works. Why risk change? Oh no, there's a relearning cost. Even if it's better, how long will it take for me to get up to speed or for my team to get up to speed? And ROI is a lie. The return is an unknowable upfront. Just a bunch of assumptions about potential beliefs. If the forces pulling them back are stronger, which in this case they were, they won't switch. No matter how much better or cheaper your product is, they won't switch. Product teams just love smooth adoption curves. They draw nice, predictable lines. Early adopters love it. Then the mainstream follows. Then world domination. I sound like the evil villain. First, early adopters will love it. Then the mainstream will follow. Then finally, world domination. I don't know. I just felt like I had to do that. Too bad that's not how reality really works, right? Adoption of a system has tipping points, inertia, outright resistance. Instead of smooth curves, you get early adopters that love shiny things. They're willing to suffer through your bugs, bad UI, and clunky onboarding. Then you have the chasm, the gaping void where all products die. It's the hole that all products fall into. Early adopters had their fun. The mainstream doesn't care. They need safe, trust, and guarantees. The mainstream market doesn't want innovation. They want risk free. They'll switch when they have to, not when they can. And that's why better doesn't always cross the chasm. Google Plus had better privacy than Facebook. It flopped. Zoom was not more advanced than Skype. It was just easier to use. EVs were better for years. Adoption only took off when charging stations started popping up everywhere. Adoption isn't about how good your product is, it's about how safe, easy, and inevitable it feels. So if you think about it, people don't just wake up and decide, I'm going to switch today. Adoption happens as a slow burn, then all at once. So the first thought is, my current solution kind of sucks, but not enough for me to change. Then I wonder if there's a better way. They start noticing problems but not taking action. Then they begin actively looking. Okay, I need something better, right? Now they're comparing options. And then that moment switch. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to make the leap. I'm giving this a shot. That's where your product needs to be ready, smooth, frictionless, and easy. Most products fail because they try to sell people at step one when they make that initial thought, or step two when they're passively looking, trying to just say, oh, yeah, what else is out there? Instead, you need to design your adoption strategy around where people are in a journey, 3 and 4. Now that you've torched a myth that better means adoption, let's talk about how to actually get people to switch. Forget features, forget incremental improvements. You're fighting against inertia, not competition. And how to tip the scales in your favor should be easy. Reduce the risk, make it feel safe. Users don't fear your product, they fear what happens if it fails. Lower the stakes, free trials, freemium models, and no commitment options work best because they make switching feel less risky and super easy. Let them double dip. People won't abandon what they know overnight. Make coexistence easy. Apple lets you run iOS and Mac OS apps side by side before fully merging them. Show them they're not alone. Social proof crashes hesitation. I think Figma. It exploded when design teams saw other teams using it. Remove the friction. Make switching effortless. Users are lazy. There, I just said it. If switching takes effort, nobody's going to do it. No painful setup. If they need an IT team to install a product, forget it. Zoom wins because you click the link to join the meeting, beats Skype's login and download. Simple, right? Click to join meeting. Done. Automate migration. Users won't copy and paste their data. Do it for them. Superhuman scanning your Gmail setup to configure your inbox for you. Perfect example. Reduce decision fatigue. Give them one simple, obvious action to take. Calendly's send a link, pick a time. Removing email back and forth. That's all so important. Make it inevitable. You don't need every user to switch. You just need enough of them to tip the scale in your favor. Create that network effect. If people, friends, colleagues, competitors are using it, you'll feel more pressure. LinkedIn's aggressive connect your email strategy. Make the old way feel outdated. No one wants to be left behind. When iMessage turned non-iPhone text green and suddenly switching to iPhone felt like it was a smart move. Turn switching to a default choice. The best way to win is to remove the decision altogether. Microsoft bundling Teams with Office 365 made it an easier option for businesses because it was all in one stop. So you need to make sure you're discovering the hidden levers. Beyond removing friction, there are these non-obvious forces that help new products win. One's called the wow moment. The first time users experience a transformational benefit. If they don't hit this early in the adoption, they'll churn before adoption even begins. Figma's magic moment, when 2 or more designers work on the same design and collaborate in real time. Wow, right? That's the wow moment. Status and identity. People don't just use products, they use them to signal who they are. If adopting your product elevates their status, they'll push harder for it. Tesla buyers aren't just driving an electric vehicle, they're part of an elite movement. Urgency and scarcity. People move when they have to. If switching isn't time sensitive and drags on forever, limited time offers, expiring free tiers, or iPhone hype cycles, you need to have scarcity. The emotional buy-in. People justify purchases with logic, but make the decision emotionally. If your product makes them feel smart, safe, or ahead of the curve, they'll sell it internally themselves. Apple marketing does a great job of this. Zero switching effort. Adoption happens fastest when a transition is seamless. The closer your product is to plug and play, the lower the resistance. Zoom's instant meeting links, a perfect example of that versus Skype's convoluted login process. So when we're talking about switching cost, it doesn't just come from effort. They come from the brain's need for familiarity. If something feels too new, too different, it feels risky, that's why the easiest way to win adoption is to make users feel like they already know how to use your product before they even start. People don't want to learn new things if they don't have to. They don't want to. They want to recognize them. Hijack their existing mental model. Slack didn't invent workspace chat. It just made it feel like an inbox, like AIM, and group chat like had a baby. That's it. AIM and group chat had a baby. Ta-da! It's Slack. Notion didn't reinvent docs and wikis. It made them feel like an infinite whiteboard. Superhuman didn't create a new email experience. It optimized Gmail's mental model for human powers. The best products don't just feel better, they feel inevitable. They borrow from mental models that we already understand and improve them. So what's the easiest way to drive adoption? Make users feel like they already know what they have. Make them feel like they've known your product forever before they even start. Familiarity is what's going to reduce switching costs more than any improvement you can make ever could. That's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.